Trucking companies, they're not dumb. They are able to evolve and figure out new ways to skirt the rules, new ways to hide their behavior.
Are trucking companies putting you and your family in danger by pushing their drivers to be unsafe? Well, that's what we're going to find out today as we Ask the Lawyer. Hi again, everybody. I'm Rob Rosenthal with AskTheLawyers.com, and my guest is attorney Montana Thompson with the Phillips Law Group in Arizona. Monty, thank you for making some time to answer our questions today.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So let's just start at the basics. What are some of the basic rules that over-the-road truck drivers have to follow as far as safety and that sort of thing?
You know, truck drivers have to follow state and federal laws. I'm not joking when I say the books that have these laws printed are more than an inch thick.
Wow.
Basically, truck drivers have to follow laws from English language requirements to training requirements to truck and load safety requirements. There's really no basic rule other than they have to be extra safe. They're not just driving a car, they're driving a large, heavy piece of machinery that can be very dangerous. So they're held to a little bit higher standard to be extra safe and extra cautious with not only driving, but with the semi-truck that they're driving, that they know that it's safe for the road.
Are there also rules, I'm assuming, about how long they can drive without taking a break, or how many hours in a row they can drive, that sort of thing?
Absolutely. These days, truck drivers are held to minimum amount of hours that they can be behind the wheel before they have to take a break. There's a maximum amount of time that they can drive during a day before they have to take time to sleep. And a lot of those things are now going electronic to where the truck can even tell, the truck is monitoring how long it's on, how long somebody's been driving. And so these types of things can be checked through the equipment that's in the truck.
In your experience, do you think the trucking companies are sometimes pushing drivers to go right up to the limits that they're allowed to, or in some cases exceed the limits that they're legally allowed to?
Absolutely. That's still happening today. Truck drivers can use all of the time that they're allotted to be behind the wheel, for example. That's expected. But it's when they push those boundaries, when they are incentivized to get to their destination by a certain time, when their dispatch office is pushing them to carry more loads than they really should, when they're pushed to carry heavier loads or travel for longer distances. We see that. We still see that today.
What would be the motivation? Why would trucking companies push them to do that sort of thing, to be unsafe like that?
Well, Rob, trucking is a business, and like any business, they want to make money. It's true what they say: time is money, money is time. And so the more loads, the more miles, the more deliveries that they make, the more money that they know that they're going to make in the long term. So unfortunately, they're driven by what most of us are driven by. It's money.
And they're willing to take the risks. They're willing to, maybe something will happen, and maybe we might end up in a case with a firm such as yours. But they're willing to accept that risk, and it's just a risk versus reward thing.
Absolutely. They know that for a large portion of these risks that they're taking, they're not going to be caught. And so they're willing to take the chance that in the few cases where they are caught, they'll fight it. In some of those cases, they'll win, and some of them they'll lose, and they'll have to pay money. But they're betting, the long-term game that they'll end up better off by making these risks and making more money.
Let's talk about a case. Let's say I'm injured. I'm in a collision with a semi-truck. There's injuries. How do we determine who's liable, or is it difficult? Is it the driver? Is it the trucking company? Is it somebody else? Is that a difficult thing to determine?
Often it is difficult. There's a lot of players. There's not just the truck driver sitting in the truck with the business name on the side. There's parent companies. There's freight forwarders. There's a lot of other people with their hand in the pot, so to speak, who may be responsible. In our experience, these hidden actors don't come out of the dark with their hand raised, willing to take responsibility. We have to do a lot of digging, investigation to find out who is responsible. If there were bad behavior, so to speak, with the driver, we have to do a lot of digging and hire experts, subpoena employees and drivers and get documents to investigate all of that.
And so that's why it's important to have somebody who has experience in these sort of things, so you know what to look for and know how evidence may be hidden or other ways, right?
That's right. Because we've handled cases like this over and over again, we have experience. We know what to look for. Trucking companies, they're not dumb. They are able to evolve and figure out new ways to skirt the rules, new ways to hide their behavior. And so we have to constantly continue digging and figuring out what they're doing and why these crashes are happening, why people are dying. And we've been very successful at it.
Monty, what if somebody thinks these guys really seem to know what they're doing, but I'm not sure I can afford them to take on my case? What would your answer be to that?
The great thing about personal injury attorneys is we don't ask our clients for money out of their pocket. They don't pay us up front. We only get paid if we are able to reach a settlement for you. So if there's no settlement, you don't pay us, we part ways, and you don't owe us a dime. We hope to be able to help as many clients as we can, and we love the opportunity to talk to these people and give them a free case evaluation to see if it's a case that we can help them with. So we'd encourage them to call, talk to us, and let us see what we can do for you.
Great information, buddy. Thank you so much for your help and answering our questions today.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
That's going to do it for this episode of Ask the Lawyer. My guest has been attorney Montana Thompson with the Phillips Law Group in Arizona. If you'd like the very best information, or you'd like to be able to choose a lawyer that lawyers choose, make sure to go to askthelawyer.com. Also, please take a second to subscribe by hitting the button down below so you'll know about future episodes. Thanks for watching. I'm Rob Rosenthal with askthelawyer.com.